Hi guys, Labour have a Scottish problem. They are adamant, however, about winning back seats from the SNP in both the Holyrood Parliament and in Westminster. But over the last 10 years, traditional Labour voters there have switched to the Scottish Nationalists and the Greens because they provide something extra, that being independence. Labour need to fix two problems that they currently have in Scotland if they are to see themselves overturn the SNP majority. Expert pollster Sir John Curtice explained why both Brexit and devolution are creating a headache for Keir Starmer's party north of the border.
We have been promised by the Labour Party, we've been promised, however, for quite some time, that they are going to come up with yet another plan for more devolution. Of course, what the SNP will respond is, well, it's fine to come up with more devolution, but A, they will say, well, look at what the Supreme Court has just said. Unless we are allowed in future to be able to run referendums on independence, we're not sure this devolution is going to be worth it. And the second issue, of course, is Brexit. There is no scheme of more devolution that seems likely to be able to satisfy the SNP's discontent and the discontent of the majority of people in Scotland with the fact that Scotland is outside the European Union. So unless Labour can address those two issues, they may well find that, yes, a bit more devolution, and we've had two major chunks already, won't necessarily change people's perspective to that extent.
And he's completely correct. So the idea that, yeah, we're going to have more devolution. If the Labour Party win power, they say, yeah, we'll devolve more powers to the Scottish Parliament. Well, the SNP are offering full devolution. And also when it comes to devolution, all you need is the Conservatives to be back in power again. And the Conservatives are anti-devolution, okay? They've been pushing this internal market bill. Now, we've generally focused on the internal market bill when it comes to Northern Ireland. But in Scotland, it's about setting up a commission in Scotland where the Tories in Westminster decide how money is spent in Scotland. So it's a gap, a middleman between Parliament in Westminster and Parliament in Scotland. This is about stripping powers away from the Scottish Parliament. The Tories have been adamant about this for a long time. They're not fans of devolution. So even if the Labour Party win a majority and they devolve more powers to the Scottish Parliament, there's always a risk that those powers will be taken away. And there's no guarantee that they would actually get those powers in the first place. But what's better than devolution is independence. You have complete control over all the powers. So that's a difficult sell. The SNP are selling 100% devolution, and the Labour Party are selling 70, 80%, maybe even less than that. And of course, the issue of Brexit. How do you sell getting Brexit done or making Brexit work to the Scots? We saw the vote back in 2016, and while support for Brexit is declining all over the United Kingdom, it's probably at its worst in Scotland for the support for leaving the European Union. So Keir Starmer's message, make Brexit work, I believe is not for people in Scotland. It's not designed for people in Scotland. It's not focused on people even in England. It's designed to keep a few people in marginal seats satisfied, to convince them that he's not going to undo Brexit because he needs to win over these marginals, these people who voted for Boris Johnson in 2019. This seems to be the plan. And by going down that road, you're going to obviously convince people in Scotland that you're probably not on their side. Now, just to look at the history and the mountain that the Labour Party have to climb, even if they are trying to convince people to vote for the Labour Party again, this is seats in the House of Commons over the last number of years. And you can see here, and I've talked about this before, in 1997 and 2001, it seemed to have peaked. 56 out of the 72 seats available. In 2005, there was a change in the makeup of the seats of the constituencies, and the number of seats available dropped to 59. But the Labour Party still held on to a majority there. But look at what happened in 2015. There was a slight increase in 2017, and the latest one, 2019, the Labour Party held one seat. How do they recover from that? devolution, the message of devolution is not going to really fix that. And saying we're going to make Brexit work is not going to really fix that. It's not much better in the Scottish Parliament. You can see since 2007, the Labour Party have been in opposition, and looking at the graphs here, the number of seats that they're holding on to has continually declined. They had 21 out of 56 seats in 2016 and 24 out of 129 in 2016 and just 22 out of 129 in 2021. Once again, how do you recover from that? And local councils isn't much better. You can see also how the number of seats that the Labour Party have has declined dramatically since 1999. It did increase a little bit in 2012 and 2022, but not enough to undo the damage that was done before. So going forward, the Labour Party seem to be offering more devolution, while the SNP are offering independence. And the Labour Party are talking about making Brexit work, while the SNP are talking about rejoining the European Union. I'm not Scottish, but I think most Scots would understand which side they're going to vote for. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.